In this video, we'll be looking at how you can create and edit the structure of navigation menus on your website. We'll be looking at how you can place them into different locations on your site, and we'll be looking at some of the design options you have when it comes to different menu styles that can be implemented as long as your website has been converted to Flex Pro. So let's start off by looking at how you can edit the structure of your menus. To do that, when you're logged into your website, you can hover over Snow Dashboard in the top left corner and click on Edit Navigation Menus. Once you get to this page, there are primarily three areas to pay attention to. The first is this area up at the top, which is going to ask you which menu on your website you want to edit. When you click on this, it's going to show you any pre-existing menus that have already been created. But if you do want to create an entirely new menu, you can do that as well by clicking Create a New Menu. Once you've selected the menu you want to edit and click Select, you will see that the current structure of that menu opens up in the second main area on this page, Menu Structure, which allows you to see what's in the menu already and how those items are ordered. The final area to pay attention to on this page is this third area on the left, Add Menu Items. This is where you can add different items to your menus that aren't already there. And those different items that you can potentially add are broken down here based on what type of content they are. So if something is a page, it'll be stored here, stories, links, categories, etc. Your list of potential menu items may vary a little bit from mine, but they will all be stored here. So for example, let's say I wanted to add a news category to my footer location or to my extra pages menu. So I would open up my categories tab here, find the category that I want to add, select it, and click Add to Menu. By default, when you add something to your menu, it is immediately added to the end, or basically the far right of the menu. But if you want to reposition something, all you need to do is select the item in the menu, click on it, and drag it to where you want it to go. A few more things about these navigation menus. If you click on an item, you'll see you have some options in terms of changing the label. So for example, maybe I wanted to change this navigation label to local news. So you can change that here. It doesn't change the name of the category of content that's actually going to be displayed when someone clicks on that tab, but it will change the label within the navigation menu. If you ever want to delete something from your navigation menu, you would also open up the item and click Remove in the bottom left corner. Finally, something else you might want to do when it comes to navigation menus on your website is create drop-downs or a sense of hierarchy. So for example, if I wanted local news to appear as a drop-down beneath Home on my website, all you need to do to create that hierarchy is grab the item that you want to be a drop-down and just drag it a bit to the right. When you let go, you'll notice that now this sub-item label is added right after the name of that content, indicating that it's now going to be a drop-down beneath whatever parent item is up above it. There is this area at the bottom for menu settings, which has to do with display location. If your website has been converted to Flex Pro, basically you can just ignore this area. These locations are no longer relevant, so you don't need to pay attention to this. What you do want to pay attention to at the bottom of this page is this Save Menu button. You want to make sure you click on that once you're done doing any work on this page so that those changes are implemented on your site. All right, so now we know how to edit the structure of your navigation menus. So now let's look at how you can place them into different locations on your website and how you can style them if you've converted your site to Flex Pro. So to do that, we're going to start by going to the Design Options page, which you can access by hovering over Snow Dashboard, Design Options. And the area that we're going to pay attention to on the Design Options page is the Site Designer. It's the 5th tab down. This is where you can add different elements to your header design. That's the top area. or your footer design at the bottom here. I'm going to be demonstrating with my header, but these tools that we'll see in just a second are completely identical between the header design area and the footer design area. So let's say I wanted to add that extra pages menu right on top of everything that's currently in my header. So what you're going to do first is start by adding a row, which you can do just by clicking on Add Row, and then you can reposition that row to be wherever you want it to be. I'm going to put it right up at the top here. Once you've created the row, which is essentially the space that we're going to drop that new menu into, then you can click Add Content to actually add the menu. You'll notice you have a couple of different options here now when it comes to menus instead of just the one option we had before prior to FlexPro. You can do menu bar. This is basically like the default, the standard, the most versatile menu option. It allows you to display a bar of content, and you can turn on previews for content within those categories as well. You can do an expanded menu. This is what you might have seen in the past when it came to footer menus. If you had sub items, basically with the expanded menu, you see not only those top menu items at once, but you're also going to see those drop downs all the time. So you're not only going to see them if you hover over the tabs, you're always going to see them. This vertical menu option is what I have currently at the bottom of my website here, as opposed to displaying menu items in a horizontal format parallel to each other. Now you have your menu items stacked vertically one on top of another. One other option we have here, it's currently grayed out for me, but if I expand my height of this area, that is the hamburger menu option. This is a great option when it comes to mobile. Basically, it's going to just show a little hamburger icon of 3 horizontal lines, and when you click on it, that menu is going to expand. So this is a good mobile option. So for now, I'm going to use the menu bar. So start by selecting which type of menu you want to use. Then it's going to ask you which of the menus that you've created that you want to display. So here are all of the menus that currently exist on my site. I'm going to select Extra Pages. And now you have tons of design options here. So you can play around with the background, the text settings, colors, and you can also now display teasers in the menu for category-based menu items, which is a pretty cool new feature. So play around with these on your own. Just like the menus page that we were on before though, when you are done creating and setting these design settings, you want to make sure you click Save All Design Options in the top right corner in order for those to show up on your site. So now if we refresh my home page, I should see that Extra Pages menu at the top here. Here's what those current design settings look like without doing much alteration. So as long as you have converted your site to FlexPro, that's what you're going to do to create new menus or edit the structure of pre-existing menus on your site, as well as how you can add them in different locations on your site within that Site Designer tab of the Design Options page. As always, if you have any questions related to navigation menus, feel free to get in touch with us here at Snow Support.